Okay, you guys ready for your final comedian of the night? All right. This next guy's coming from Los Angeles. You can check out his website, normalwebsite.com. Everybody give it up for the very funny Rob Schultz. Hey.
The briefly popular band of professional American musicians, Sugar Ray, was named for world champion boxer Sugar Ray Leonard, whose full birth name was Ray Charles Leonard, and who was named for professional American musician Ray Charles, whose full birth name was Ray Charles Robinson, and who was named for world champion boxer Sugar Ray Robinson, whose full birth name was Walker Smith Jr., and who was named for professional American cement mixer Walker Smith. Ladies and people of Cinecave, my name is Rob Schultz. I am not a cop. I've heard that you're supposed to say on TV, I've heard you're supposed to say whether or not you are a cop. I didn't hear any other comic tonight say this. Be cool. I'm rebooting my beard. It's out of continuity with the previous beards. You don't have to have seen those to understand this. Since we're in Cinecave, just some production facts about the beard. I've grown fewer beards than there were Land Before Time movies. You can go upstairs and count them. It takes about as long for me to produce one beard as it took them to make one Land Before Time movie. They're about as satisfying to look at. I don't believe in much. That keeps my system of beliefs simple. I think it's good to keep things simple. But I do believe that fitness should be represented as a number. Just one number. That's all you need to compare yourselves with friends, relatives, elected representatives, anyone you've got. And that number is the amount of time in seconds that you can survive in a fight with Batman. Everyone in this room is a 1. Your average henchman, like a 3, maybe a 5 if Batman has the flu or has recently been shot. Renowned supervillain the Penguin, almost a 30. I know he doesn't look like it, but you gotta be in pretty good shape to be a supervillain. Trick umbrella doesn't hurt. The current all-time world record holder, Wayne Gretzky. Over 1,000. Turns out it's because he doesn't worry so much about where the Batman is. He visualizes where the Batman is going to be. I'll tell you, I am relieved that you guys like that, because I've been telling this to college kids. They haven't heard of Wayne Gretzky. Half of them haven't heard of Batman. Here's something I think we can all agree on, though. And that is that being hit by a train is completely unacceptable. I know. Some of you are gonna say, oh, but Rob, trains, they weigh so many tons, they move so quickly. And I'd stop you right there, because I've been down this path before. And I would say, Jeff, I don't know you guys, you probably all named Jeff. Jeff, trains may be very heavy, they may move very quickly, but they have something else in common. And that is that they are, in the vast, overwhelming majority of cases, bound to tracks. These tracks provide strong visual clues to the possible locations of the train. So, Jeff, suppose we take these tracks. We take them off the ground, we take them away from people. We build a fence around them, we build a second fence around them, we put up signs. Signs that say things like caution and danger, and beware of roller coaster. It is not so long ago, in these fine United States, a young man jumped 2 fences with the intention of grabbing at the dangling legs of passengers on the Batman ride in Six Flags Atlanta. Now, we know that this was his plan by interviewing friends of his who had the good sense to not be hit by a roller coaster. He did not successfully get the legs of a single passenger, but the tail end of the ride did catch him. The young man was decapitated. This is extremely embarrassing. I mean, getting hit by a bus, sure, it happens to all of us, probably more than we'd like to admit. Getting hit by a train, as we've said, unacceptable. But it is a dark day indeed when a suburban household receives a knock on the door from a young man, a representative of the Six Flags Corporation, respectfully dressed in uniform, giant Bugs Bunny head tucked under one arm, to inform them that their son is no more by reason of roller coaster-related injuries. Worst of all, his fitness level is less than 1. He wasn't even fighting the real Batman. That was an attraction with Batman just painted on the side. It's a problem. That's what I'm trying to say. I, like most people who live in Los Angeles, I'm not from California. I come from the Midwest. Whenever I talk to friends and family back home, they all say the same things about weather. Everyone wants to talk about weather. It's like, oh, I'm sure the weather's so much nicer where you are, but I'll bet you miss having seasons. And the fact is, like, Los Angeles has plenty of seasons. They're short. They've got nothing to do with the weather, but we've got them. Right now, we're in one of my favorites. I don't know if you guys get this up here, but in Los Angeles, we are in Boat Angel season. Sounds like you're unfamiliar. Boat Angel is an organization that puts up advertisements in bus stops to let you know there's a place you can send your spare or excess boats. May just be cluttering up a harbor somewhere, where they can go to help a family in need. Of a boat. You know, those families that are just barely bollously scraping by, this is where they get their boats. And what better place to advertise? Because that's why people in Los Angeles are riding the bus. All of their money is tied up in multiple boat ownership. That guy who always needs a quarter. The financial blunder that he's made. Buying too many boats. Oh, sure, Sheila and the boys and I, we prefer the yacht because we all have our own private bathrooms. But sometimes you just feel like a pontoon boat ride, don't you know? This? Oh, no. The pontoon is in the marina with our catamaran. This here's the life raft. It's the boat that stays inside the other boat. Hasn't touched water in 7 years. In a lot of ways, it reminds me of that gentleman who takes the number 17 from West Hollywood. Now, I know, we're at Sketchfest. This is a room of comedy connoisseurs. You're thinking to yourselves, that guy's other guy voice wasn't very good. And you're right. But I know something that you don't, which is that I am not left-handed. That was amazing. You're welcome. So I'm from Ohio is what I was trying to say. From the Midwest. I knew, even before moving thousands of miles away, I would never be the guy who liked Ohio the most. That honor goes to a gentleman with a full chest tattoo that says, I, the shape of Ohio, Ohio. This is a fellow who doesn't heart Ohio, he Ohio's it. He likes it so much that he's changed it from a place to a reflexive verb. A reflexive verb, I know that because I'm kind of into language, I'm into grammar. It's what I Ohio. I know that there's a word for people who like that sort of thing. It's etymology. An etymologist is the sort of guy who'd be interested to learn that, like, when you see XXX written outside of a strip club or a jug of whiskey in an old cartoon, it's there because it represents sin, because it's the Roman numeral for 30, as in the 30 pieces of silver that the Romans gave Judas to betray Jesus. I mean, I made that up, but if that were true, that's the sort of thing that an etymologist would find fascinating. What I find fascinating is that in pretty much every language, the way we say goodbye to somebody is to wish God on them. It's right there in the word goodbye. It's a condensed way of saying God be with you. In Spanish, adios, to God. In French, adieu, with God. In German, they say auf Wiedersehen. That's actually, they're telling you to turn Widdershins. That's an old-time way of saying turn counterclockwise, but the Germans are weird. Italians arrive with the spirit, arrivederci chi. Japanese, they say sayonara, which translates something like go in the sight of the Lord. That comes from time of like feudal Japan. We had serfs and peasants and vassals and lords. We work all the way up to the top. It's the emperor. It's considered a god, so this still works. In Russian, they say do svidaniya. As we all know, dos is Spanish for two, and vidinha is a kind of onion, so that's 2 onions. I'm not sure why the Russians say that. Lithuanian is an interesting one. Lithuanian does not have a word for goodbye. Consequently, you don't meet a lot of Lithuanians. It's a very difficult country to live in. But if you do, you've pretty much made a friend for life. Until you dismiss them. It's like having your own private Chewbacca. In Romania, they still speak Latin. And Latin is a dead language, which is why Romania remains almost completely cut off from the rest of Western civilization. Or they would, if not for their primary export, which is the chocolatey beverage Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo was invented in Romania in the 1920s to help keep Zeppelin pilots alert and awake. I just thought that was interesting. Also, it's not true. Yet. Right now, Wikipedia tells you that Yoo-hoo was invented in Minnesota. But if I keep doing this, I mean, anyone can edit Wikipedia. Oh no, I'm sorry guys, I was supposed to be, I thought I was going to be going first. I was going to be going over the safety rules for the show tonight. I know it's a little late. I just want to get through this real quick. You guys, hopefully you've all been here and we've been following these rules. In case of fire, just please leave. In case of flood, please leave. In case of earthquake, please leave. If the room should fill with more than 2 bees, please leave. If it's just 1 or 2, I think we can handle it. But if it's a lot, you're going to want to get out. If the venue should capsize for any reason, please leave. In the event of a pandemic, now this is tricky, because if the contagion is out there, we don't want to let it in. If it starts in here, we shouldn't let it out. You want to just stay in your seats. If there's a sale going on upstairs, go ahead, please leave, I understand. Anything involving Dr. Octopus, please leave. In the admittedly unlikely event of a water landing, please leave. Godzilla, but not just Godzilla, any sort of large monster, radioactive monster, but for the purposes of brevity, we're going to say Godzilla. Please leave. If Gmail is down, please leave. In the event of a riot and the inevitable looting to follow, please leave. Take something with you. Let's see here. Robots, ghosts, robotic ghosts, ghostly robots. Yeah, please leave. Homophobia, please leave. Hypochondria, please leave. Beatlemania, please leave. Famine, this is an easy one. There's a snack bar. You guys can just take care of that. Come back and enjoy the show. It turns out that San Francisco has been built on top of an active volcano. Please leave. If a gigantic asteroid is headed for Cinecave, please leave Earth and destroy the giant asteroid. And in the event of some sort of oil spill, just get a napkin and take care of it. We're not your parents here. So great, everybody's ready. You got the rules. We can enjoy the show. Yeah. My name's Schultz. Thank you all very much. Good night, Cinecave.
All right, thank you.